Kako, a Komamai Curtain Call, a weekly program of reviews, previews, interviews, and features of and or with the great art and artists on Maui and beyond. I'm Paul James Brown. The 8th triennial iteration of the Schaefer Portrait Challenge, a statewide jury exhibition focusing on one of the oldest forms of visual art, portraiture, with one of the most valuable prizes in the art world, opened on January 14th and will run till March 22nd. A total of $25,000 is available to the selected artists. The Juror's Choice Award for $15,000 is sponsored by Carolyn Schaefer. The Ruth Friedman's People's Choice Award for $5,000 will be based on the popular vote of gallery visitors. And for the first time, the artists will be awarding one of their peers the Gene Friedman Artist's Choice Award for $5,000. The jurors for this show were Sonnet Coggins, Executive Director at the Merwin Conservancy, Mina Ellison, Curator at Donkey Mill Art Center, Hawaii Island, and Wendy Kawabata, Professor of Art at University of Hawaii at Manoa, Oahu. They selected works by 40 artists from Maui, Hawaii Island, Lanai, Oahu, and Kauai out of 132 submissions. The 2025 show has several three-dimensional works of note. This glass, stone, metal oxide, and 14-karat gold work by Charles Lowry, entitled Ancestral Knowledge, Kuleana Pohaku, is the artist's portrait of his friend and mentor, Hawaka Delos Reyes. The contrast between the opacity of the pohaku and the translucency of the glass not only serves as an attention-getter, but it is contemplative as well. Here is Lynn Weller-Liverton's loving, dignified ceramic tribute to the legendary Oahu waterman, Joey Cabell. Ira Ono is a living arts institution. He founded the Art of Trash, and his Volcano Gallery on the Hawaii Island is a must-stop place. There, the viewer will be struck by the, quote, please touch signs. This ceramic and glass image of the artist by Ingrid Frigo, quote, please touch, unquote, captures his intelligence, perception, and whimsy perfectly. Despite the title, or more accurately because of it, the gallery has put a sign in front of the work contradicting its title. Barclay Hill is one of our most accomplished sculptors who most often works in bronze, wood, and glass. So it was a surprise to see his name on this ceramic, copper, and glass work entitled Syrinx. It is a portrait of his ceramics teacher, Jennifer Owen, who ironically I will be talking about next. I wonder about the title. Does it refer to the chaste nymph of the Greek mythology, or to the vocal organs of birds, or to the pan flute? It's a conundrum. Now we come to one of the most astounding ceramics I have ever seen. Free. It's a self-portrait mostly. The viewer is informed by the accompanying written description of the great ceramicist Jennifer Owen. Swimming. Incidentally, she was awarded the only honorable mention in the annual Hui Jury Show, which is running simultaneously with this one. This work is suspended and will cause the viewer to stare in absolute astonishment at the beauty and, for those who know the artist, accuracy of depiction, and to wonder, how the heck did she do this? Now let's take a look at some of the noteworthy two-dimensional works. Upon entering the gallery, the viewer will be greeted by this oil on linen portrait of Isaac Zabian, a well-known musician on the Lanai by Michael Carroll. The viewer can almost hear the cajon. This watercolor gouache acrylic with pen and pencil on paper portrait of Abigail Romanchik by her sister-in-law Wendy is striking for several reasons. The photorealism of her physiognomy is in marked contrast to the almost surrealistic nature of her surroundings. The artist portrays her clearly looking at something. What could it be, especially since she is surrounded by a trio of nearly extinct kiwikiu as well as a host of endemic flora? Incidentally, Abigail was the juror for this year's annual Hui Juried Show. Given the recent disrespectful and contemptible edict from the liar-in-chief regarding genders, this oil-on panel with colored transparencies of the drag queen Moses Lee in a colorful striped and patterned dress by Hawaii Island artist Adair lives up to the artist's name. Spectrum of Self shows they Lee with two paper doll cutouts. One is red and female, and the other in blue is a male. There are red and blue transparencies on stands in front of the work. When the viewer looks through the red one, the female disappears, looking through the blue one, and the male is gone. It is the most powerful work in this show, and given the all-time champion of prevarication's penchant for revenge, an exceptionally courageous work of art. Lily Townsend is known by everyone on Maui as the Minister of Fun. Jet Green created this oil on canvas entitled, quote, Lily's Gift, the Beauty of a Lifetime, unquote. The smirk on her face says it all. The sparkling blue eyes capture the viewer and pull one into the magical mystery tour the artist takes one on. A son, Eduardo Joaquin Jr., captures his disabled father in the muted oil on canvas work Eduardo Joaquin Sr. This is a memory work done from family photos, and the artist used himself as a model. This oil of her daughter, Jillian, by Julie Chalk, entitled Senbazuru 2024, features 1,000 folded paper cranes, giving the work a three-dimensional feel. Abby Rabinowitz loves her friend Lauren, the Bagel Meister. This acrylic on canvas shows a person who is most inviting and engaging, while the bagels, not so attractive. Then I saw Arnold Borneo's paper fabric on canvas portrait of his mother. I was struck by irony. On my recent trip to New Zealand, I discovered the work of an amazing collagist from Thailand named Virut Panchubuz, who uses paper as his brush and paints. Here are a few examples of his work. All this time is a marvelous oil collage Prismacolor beeswax on panel by Penny Nichols of her sons today, and then right behind them is a portrait she did of them more than 40 years ago. It is a great piece. Speaking of great, Nida B. Bangerter spent several months working on this monumental acrylic on canvas of well-known Maui artist Debra Fair. Debra and Pup Pup shows a cavalcade of her eclectic artistic career in her bohemian surroundings. Like Debra's work, the viewer could spend several hours taking in everything Ms. Bangerter has portrayed so excellently in this piece. Eddie Float has been off-island for several years, caring for his nonagenarian mom, Betty. He is also a terrific musician, so this beautiful watercolor, Steve Grimes the Luthier, is a tribute to one of the great guitar makers of our time, to the man who set Mr. Float's guitar up 40 years ago. Note the hands and the concentration in his eyes. Mr. Grimes' tribute to Lahaina, Lahaina Town, has become the anthem for the recovery of the fire-ravaged community. It wouldn't be a Schaefer Portrait Challenge without Kirk Kurokawa. His oil on panel, The Dojo, depicts Sensei Herbert Kogasaka, 7th Dan in the dojo of Wailuku Hongwanji Judo Club, with the first woman to obtain the rank of black belt on Maui, who also happens to be the artist's wife, Carla. The perspective is from below, indicating the artist's admiration and respect for Sensei Kogasaka and his wife. The viewer is looking up to them. This self-portrait with glasses on oil on canvas by Jarius Kiabu is in a classic style, is reminiscent of the later period of the great master Rembrandt van Rijn. I look forward to seeing other work by this young man. Oh yes, the juror's choice, the recipient of the $15,000 prize, is this oil, Laundry Day, by Chalice Pascual. Other notable work includes Albert Waite's Mana'o, Kathleen Storm's Nakupuna e Hailua, Lehua's Ancestors, Deborah Matterson's Mary Love Helping Hands, John Hunt's Ohia Lehua, and Damian Smith's Ali'i of Ho'okipa. The Schaefer International Gallery is open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., and prior to select Castle Theater and Yokouchi Pavilion shows. It will be closed on February 15th and March 21st. Well, that's Curtain Call for this week. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Paul James Brown. Maui Strong. Ahui ho!